Hello and welcome back to the Liminal Branch Library, the archive in the seams. I'm your archivist and librarian, Mordio Crow, and I am once again joined by our three players. Nova playing as Miffy Mouse. Say hi, Nova. Nova. Nova, that's you.
Nova.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm talking. Can you not hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Oh, I said hiya, folks.
Hi, Miffy.
You were a little bit too close of a voice match, and a certain other mouse proactively disabled your microphone. That's what happened.
Oh,
Well, that's a fucking shame.
By Hambone, also known as Milo,
howdy do.
and by Amasha, also known as Ember.
Hello.
And our trio of vagabonds are in the middle of a rather dramatic escape attempt. So, as they say, the plans of mice and, well, other mice do often go awry, and in this case, it certainly did, as the three of you came up with plans for escaping, which involved a Marquisiate clockwork tunneler, a supply cache of weaponry, and a certain eerie noble with knowledge of secret tunnels. But alas, before the plan could be executed to utmost perfection, as we all know you're capable of, the very first roll was rather botched, as were the subsequent ones thereafter, and we entered into a series of cascading escalations almost immediately. Alarms started getting sounded, tunnels started getting flooded intentionally, but subtlety was thrown out the window. And the prison that we've found ourselves in, or rather at least this section of the Ironroot prison mines, because there are certainly other sections of the mine, other sections of the prison, but this intersection is currently filling with water. There are scattered battles this way and that. Up in our top right, we have Captain Carlo Brightwing, one of the Canary leaders, a set of mercenaries who are working for the Eyrie to supplement their lacking manpower after the bloody battle to retake this clearing from the Marquisiate. So the Canaries are your jailers, more or less, and they are currently doing battle with some liberated miners whom you have supplied with weaponry. Off in the other direction, the top left, we have two Canary mercenaries trying to drag out one fellow mercenary who has been rendered unconscious, as well as the former Lord of Ironroot, a political prisoner who's being kept on a tight binding as they try to escape. Now, the Canary mercenaries are, to their minimal credit, trying to keep their prisoners alive, right? So Canary Kula Two-Tone over here is currently carrying one of their co-workers and gave Ember permission to run ahead with Arrow to try to find the path through the waters with how rapidly they were rising, making the promise that no one was going to be left behind to drown today, and asking Ember for confirmation that this was the truth. And Ember, you just get to decide if you were telling the truth then or not. We'll find out. Now, the screen has changed a bit since when we've last played. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. With Ember and Arrow running ahead of the other Canaries here, we have Miffy and Milo, as well as a bunch of other denizens who are not quite as capable combatants as the miners. Our local innkeep, who was arrested along with you, Vera, all inside the clockwork tunneler. Now, you did manage to get it working and use it to cause all of this lovely flooding that's currently around you, aiding in the chaos, we'll say. But ahead of you is Captain Noemi Aluvi, an otter who is one of the other leaders of the Canary mercenaries, and is currently Now, blocking's probably not the right word because you are on a giant digging machine and she is but a single otter, flanked by, 4 to 6 birds. But, you may... blocked isn't quite the right word, but she does stand between you and there, and as Killian Champenois, your Marquisiate ally, has told you and the soldiers in the past, this isn't a war machine. And indeed, just fighting through some of the canaries earlier, it took some damage. So, you might also notice, before we zoom in on your characters, some fun little blue meters scattered around in each zone. Those are
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, so those are the current water levels in each area. Now, the water levels are moving at slightly different rates due to, for example, if it's maybe that area dead ends, so it's filling up a little bit faster, it can't flow on to other areas, or maybe it's just a little bit higher up, so it's taking longer to get there, all that kind of stuff. The important part is that the red line does not mean that you are, the red line means you're in like severe danger, right? Because now it's like getting up to your neck and head, it's hard to do stuff at that point. But the distance from the top of the blue to the top, that's how much the air pocket, so assuming you can tread water at least, or pull yourselves along the side, you can still breathe until it reaches the very top. After that point, we're going to run into issues. Now, who knows? We might have the opposite of last time. Our vagabonds might come in here and immediately roll natural 12s one after the other, and those water meters might never come up again after this explanation. But maybe they will. So
I roll to look for the plug.
well, actually, it's funny that you mention it. So let's zoom in a little bit to start on Milo, Miffy, and this the tunneler crew, as Captain Noemi Aluvi and most of her Canary mercenaries, all but one, jump from the lift into like the half-flooded mines. She calls to the one mercenary on the lift, "Don't send it back down until I say so," and draws her blade. The mercenary beside her...
Sunshine!
Miffy, you cut out there.
Sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine.
No, not the copyright. Miffy, stop being copyright ring.
Whoa!
No. This canary starts to pull the lever and the lift starts to raise. And certainly, even with the lift down, right? Like, it's not like the lift is sealing and the passage, there's space beneath it. So the water in this room is currently filling more slowly because it can drain under the lift to go further down, right? So, since you said plug, the lift's not quite acting as a plug, but it is helping in your specific location to keep the water from being that bad. And not too far behind you, though a little bit far behind you, Ember is running with the unconscious arrow slung over her shoulder, or in whatever manner of Ember's choosing, as the two of them try to catch up, having been formerly caught and using their using Ember's charisma to escape, to deceive and escape from the canaries behind them. So, I think we're going to start with Miffy and Milo, presented with the lift beginning to raise. What's going through your heads of you two? What are you doing, right? You have canaries drawing their blades in front of you. The lift's starting to raise out of reach, but not quite there yet. Mice in either hand.
Idea, but I defer to you, Milo, if you'd like to do something first.
Okay. I would like to read a tense situation.
Let me take a look at that. So let's see, when you read... Yeah, okay, so this is certainly a tense situation. So, Milo, you can survey, clocking all of these different, all the different characters, all the different things going on. Make your roll with cunning.
Okay.
So, you can ask one of those questions and you get a +1 when acting on the answer.
Okay. What is the captain's main goal down here? Is it to quell prisoners, or is it to save people?
If they wanted to save people, they should bring down the lift.
I want to make sure.
I think her main goal here is to do her job, which is to contain the prisoners first, save them second. Now, I think you can tell by her demeanor over the course that, like, you've been here a few days, you've seen her around before, and by the way that she's drawing her weapon now, it's like the weapon is just as much of it's a threat that she's willing to act on, but she's not going to leave you to drown if you surrender, right? She's going to take you prisoner again if you surrender, so you do always have that out, but if it comes down to company mercenaries are supposed to be professionals, and now while many of the canaries are, they're the hirelings, those with the rank of captain take their job seriously, and if she has been hired to make sure that no prisoners escape, she'll make sure no prisoners escape if that costs her life, right? Like, that's just, the contract must be fulfilled.
Okay. And do we, like, in context to the rest of the Woodlands, do we know where we are? Are we, like, near Iron Root? Are we near?
Yes, you're in Iron Root itself.
Would I know anywhere, like, any other prisons for a large number of people, like, where that would be, where they would hold us if we were to surrender?
They have options. Grand Hollow would be a main one, if not going to, what's the name of the one on the top right? The Fire Sky Grove would be another. Theoretically, they could take you to Featherflight, but they probably wouldn't.
Shit. I'm reading this, but, like...
Yeah.
I think surrender might be viable, but it could be we put in a tighter situation that we'd be trickier to get out of, and also we can also someone, within, the population of the prison started the flooding, which is what's causing the problem. I don't think they would take kindly to that in any way.
No, certainly not.
See, here's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is that we should make the guards, not the leader, not Noemi, scared, because we should say that, one, Noemi's an otter. She's gonna do fine in this water. Everybody else, it's flooding right now. She sent the elevator up, and I can probably look like I'm not gonna surrender. It's going to be she's willing to die. Are you guys?
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to get them to revolt against the captain?
Maybe rebel is a strong word, but not listen to her to save their own skin.
All right, I mean, persuade an NPC is for when you persuade an NPC with promises or threats, right? So, like, you can't, if that's something that you want to pitch to them, you are more than welcome to give that say
the group is amenable to it. I will not do it if the group is would prefer a different course of action.
See, I thought you were gonna throw the mice in your claws.
That spell special.
Wait, you mean like throw
random
them
civilians.
Yeah, throw
them at the guards
onto the lift as it's going up.
I mean, I could do that, but that's not going to save me.
No.
True. So unless you want to move on this, I'm gonna try and persuade.
All right, what's your persuasion goal before you try to roll? Are you doing what Miffy just suggested, or you have a different thing?
I say, Cole, call down. Okay, I need to do a character one. Hold on, I need to clear my throat. Hold on. Hopefully that was muted.
Yeah, that was me.
I go, alright, El Capitan. Now you get out of this way. You call back down the lift. Or I'm tearing down the whole shaft and no one leaves.
Ooh, you're going for the intimidate. I like it.
Yeah.
Like Milo says that, and Miffy goes, "Ah!"
They start doing the Steamboat Willie little.
So you're trying to actually convince the captain. So here's my question for you, because this is sort of an important distinction. Is this a threat that Milo's willing to follow through on, to just start tearing down and collapsing things? Because if it's not, then I feel like you're probably trying to trick the NPC, right?
I see.
If it is, well, actually, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I could go either way, I suppose. Do whichever one you feel you prefer. I'll give you both options. So
I'm gonna do persuade, because if I can get a hit, well, actually, it'd be call for antidote. I think that's I don't think a threat is an antidote, so either one. I'm gonna do persuade.
all right,
Hey,
11.
Woo!
All right.
She looks at you, hears your words, sees the big, the big tunneling construct that you're all in, and she will gesture to the mercenaries beside her, or gesture with her head, and they'll start to back up onto the lift. She'll make eye contact with you, Milo, since you are the one speaking, and say, "Old of you, but you're worth more alive than dead. So, here's what we're going to do. I'll wait here," and she takes a step from the lift. "You send some of those mice over to the lift. Then we can both get on, and your machine stays behind."
Oh no. What is it to roll to?
And to be clear,
convince the PC. Lead with the PC. Miffy, we need you to get off.
Wait, what? I'm getting off?
No, I'm just saying if we leave the machine, I don't know if we have what it takes to pry you off the controls to do it.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I will also say, just as a point of clarification, she did gesture for the lift has returned down to the ground, right? Because of the successful roll. It is no longer ascending. So.
Okay, she only wants Milo?
No, she wants to basically do it slow. Some of you get off, come over to the lift. We won't attack you until you're all off the vehicle, and we're all
We
on
won't
the lift
attack you
together.
until you're off the vehicle? That's mad.
I mean, she didn't say
Drop
that
your
out loud.
weapons and then we'll attack you, is what you just
I
said.
want to get everyone from the back out, then we'll come out.
Everyone,
That's fair enough.
You said everyone from the back. I assume you mean Ember and them, or do
I
you
mean,
just mean the mice?
still within the flooding layers of the mine. If you need to send people out there, do it.
She'll ask you, Brightwing, you kill him?
Depends, which one was that?
Was he the one with that looked like a zebra cookie?
The one who had bright wings? That one?
I don't know, did we? I forget.
You have not. I don't think you've killed anyone, actually.
It's pretty dark down
No.
here. You think we would notice someone with glowing wings, but I don't know if I can really tell them apart.
Yeah, actually, you know what? No, I think actually Miffy might have killed one or two people. Someone with the tunneler did knock some canaries unconscious.
Oh, that was me for sure.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
you
if
might
they're
want
dead
to. You might want to check some of the tunnels, see if anyone's floating by. Probably get some rope or something.
I say this with all honesty. I have no idea.
She'll respond, then, look, you told me to bring down the lift. I did. You want to get out of these tunnels alive? We can all do that. But that's as far as you're getting.
Alright. I turn to Miffy, it's like... Right now it seems like a pretty good deal. Unless you got another way to negotiate, I think we should at least honor it. And then in a hushed tone I go, for now.
Just get the goddamn mice out of here. And I like dump them on the lift. All right, get out.
Alright, so the mice get on the lift. Vera looking with at least a little bit of concern towards the rest of you as Noemi gets on the lift.
I would love for Ember to also go onto the lift. She hasn't been caught with us.
No,
That's
no,
true.
I'm not even in the same area yet.
So I was actually going to say that Ember, you probably arrive, and now it's up to you if you want to make yourself known or not. As you see some of the mice getting on the lift as in this standoff. The Canary mercenaries have their weapons drawn. One of them's at the controls. Some of them with their weapons are pointed towards the mice, like, all right, we're not, you're not gonna just, we're not just gonna let you go up here and then start running, right? Like, they got all their weapons out. You see this. You can choose to remain hidden and see how things play out and jump out at a critical moment. Or you can come out and see if you can join the mice on the lift.
How deep is the water?
So where you're at, it's a little bit shallower because of it's draining under the lift. So you're maybe up to like your waist or so.
Oh, dang. So I can't put arrow down.
You can kind of float arrow a bit, or like find like a mine cart, I suppose, if you want to do that.
Like floating by, or?
No, I imagine that if it's up to your waist, a minecart's probably about of a similar, if not slightly greater height. So this lift is mainly used to like lift out the stuff that's mined, right? Like there'd be tracks.
True.
So the tracks would go here, and there'd probably be spare minecarts around. So if you want to just like,
Yeah.
if you want to put arrow on one without arrow immediately drowning, that's your.
That is
route.
my goal.
All right. Yes, that is easily enough done. Just remember them when or if the water level rises,
Yes.
All right. So yes, you can place the mouse. Mouse is now placed. What's your goal here?
Keep him from drowning?
Oh, sorry. I meant not that part. I meant what are you doing now that you are free from mouse? That's what I meant. I presumed you were putting arrow down to enable yourself to do something else.
Yes, I am not telling anyone I'm there, and I'm going back.
Oh, you're going back. Oh, I see. Got it. All right. Are you returning for Kula? Is that what you're doing?
Yes! The panic is high!
All right, Ember, you start rushing back through the waters where in this area over here, it is deeper, but you had waded through this area before. You know that it's like a little bit lower down. Like the water level gets closer to your chest. You can still walk and, pull yourselves along the wall, but with the tunnel, if I recall correctly, Miffy rolled quite well to wreck the water, so it's flooding extremely well. So you're, I assume, racing back as quickly as you can, right? I don't think I would.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it in time, but
Yeah, I don't think I need to make you roll to find them. The bigger question is actually trying to get
their
out.
attention?
Trying to get out alive, right? So it's like, you're running there. You don't have any particular, any particular tools that'll make this task easier. It's just getting there, grabbing on, and booking it back, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know where they were. You know what path they should have been taking. So it's not hard to make your way back to them. Or rather, it's hard to make your way back to them, but it's not hard to find them, right? Like you have to work I don't know how athletic you consider Ember to be, but it's certainly a workout, especially when
Oh
you,
yeah, she's gonna be sopping wet after this as well.
Especially whenever you go by an intersection where the water's coming towards you, right?
Oof.
You have to like push up against it, use the rocks, or like dig into the mine tracks that are underneath you. But you do find them, relatively far behind. Now, this is the area where it's up past the neck, like towards your head. That's where you find them as they struggle. Kula especially is struggling with their unconscious ally. Ember, how do you approach the group? And what do you say? How do you treat this moment?
I'm just going to yell this way,
Okay.
struggling because it's hard, and be like, this way.
Cool.
It's not gonna be cool.
Yeah. It's messy. It's chaotic. You call out to them. You're essentially trying to lead them back, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I can't really get at them super well,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also a terrible time.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. It is, in fact, a terrible time. I think because there's no real tools you can use, you're probably just... I think I might want you to just roll Trust Fate, right?
Okay.
I think that's probably the play here.
Okay. All right. Where is that? Moves. Trust fate. Oh dear. Oh!
All right. You barely scrape by or barrel through. So I think what it is you succeed in leading them back through the tunnel. Or rather, you're in the process of succeeding. We're going to cut back to the other group as you're undergoing
it takes
this.
a bit.
But I think I'm going to have you mark exhaustion for the efforts that it takes to go
That's
there
fair.
and back. So like
That is
you're
still
getting
fair.
tired. But you do it, and you feel like, all right, you're making it. The water's not rising faster than you can move. There's at least some level of, all right, we're doing it. Now, coming back here, Milo, Miffy, as the mice are moving over, Killian whispers to the two of you, are we really going to abandon I know this is not a weapon, but I'm not very capable in a fight. If we go up there, I think we'll end up just where we started. Or a drier version of where we started. Seeing as it's underwater now.
I'm gonna go to Killian and say, like, listen, York, you know about those clauses and contracts? The terms they use in the fine print, shall we say?
I've not personally worked with the company, but I know they are very specific about their contracts.
If I can find just the right loophole with a certain confidant of mine, I think we'll be alright. Also, I kind of look around and see the water flooding around the machine, be like, I'm not sure how dang this thing is. Might be a little water damage now.
It's true. They're not meant to be submerged like this. Not for long. Yeah, he's willing to give up the machine if that's what the two of you, or the two of you want to do. Are you two leaving your machine behind? Go up onto the lift.
I go, I'm not leaving until we got everyone out of the mine.
Alright, well in that case, I don't think she's going to rush you, but she does have her mercenaries. They have their weapons trained on the mice. And she'll say, Noemi will say, wait as long as you'd like. Just don't get any funny ideas with that machine of yours.
I put my hands and my feelers up like, oh, that's what I'm doing.
Alright. So in that case, we are now intentionally letting time pass at least a little bit, right? So that's raising some water levels
Oh dear.
in different areas. But, you know, I think
Jesus
from
Nova.
from practical purposes, though, how much of an effect will that have, I wonder, as Ember and you and your quarry do manage, or not quarry, your companions, your fellows are beginning to make your way up and around. So,
Drop that on us in the middle of the stream, middle of a session.
what did Nova do? I missed it.
It's an art. I don't know
Okay.
when they had time to do this.
I see. All right.
I hope you folks at home, well, too bad.
In,
Check out our
R-
social.
in RPG games, there's plenty of time to draw and listen.
It's true.
Damn.
All right. So, Ember, you come back around the corner leading these other ones. And I think you, because you know to look for Arrow, notice that they're not there. They don't look like they were pushed away from the water. So you scan
Oh,
and
no.
you see them like over behind a minecart over here, close to the lift, just really eyeing that captain from the side, like as if they're trying to sneak up on them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Arrow's got the mudluffs. They've got the mythness.
Miff him up.
But
Miff
Ember,
him up.
you are here now, as well as Kula. We got the old Lord of Ironroot. As for back here, though, this is a violent and bloody struggle. Milo, you said you're waiting for everyone. I wonder what the chances are of them actually arriving here. So
Are you rolling for it?
that's what I was going to say. I feel like it's time to roll for it, but I don't know if it's appropriate to make, like... This isn't really like any of your characters making a move, so I want one of you to roll, because I hate rolling as a GM. I always roll poorly.
Okay.
So I want one of you to roll. What?
While we're doing that, can I also well, I'm going to be we're waiting, right? So I would love to talk to Noemi to distract them so that Arrow can possibly make a move.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. What kind of what are you generally speaking saying? Unless you have specific dialogue you'd like to speak.
I do have specific dialogue I'd like to speak.
Sure. All right. So let's do that before we roll for up top then.
All right, sure. This is also the person this is the otter that talked to me too, right?
Mhm.
Or the company, yeah. I'll keep that in mind. So, Noemi, sounds like this gig is really working out for you. How about the rest of you all? Looks at the mercenaries. How'd that make you feel when Noemi told you here that pull up the lift? Now, they're fine. It doesn't matter that water's crashing around us and we'll all die if we don't go up right now. She sent it out and she wasn't thinking about you guys. Guess what? She can swim. How well can any of you guys swim? Bet she can hold her breath for 10 minutes or so. The company's really good at that kind of thing. They're also really good at leaving you high and dry, or, excuse the pun, wet and dead.
I make the face that I'm making in the Killdozer picture I drew.
Milo, don't look at me. That's good. Shut up. Talk.
Turn away.
And I would like to read the situation here. Is anybody listening to what I said? Are they worried because the water? We're waiting here. She allowed us to wait. I'm like looking at I don't know if watches exist in this world, but I'm like, tick. We're not gonna move until. What'd you say?
Waiting for my watch, looking at my waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me take a look at reading the situation. You wanna figure out your impact on. I think that's
Yeah, the
more.
mercenaries.
That's more figure someone out if you want to try to get like
Whatever. I just kind of want to see if anything's getting to them. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
sure,
this
go
is...
for it.
Okay. Excuse me. I do have some charm. All right, figure someone out. Weak hit.
Weak hit. You get a question, which I assume you're basically you're looking at what are the mercenaries really feeling, right?
Yeah, like because they're in this really tense standoff, and because water is in fact rising, and we're waiting a very long time. Do they trust in Noemi's judgment that they shouldn't just abandon ship right now? Is this worth it? Hey, she's also probably more likely to survive than I am, a bird underground.
So what I think will happen here is a mix of your figure someone out and as like the things that you've said. The canaries. Now you've seen before how in some respects they were a little bit lukewarm about their job, but for better or worse, they do have some experience, right? You get the sense that they've certainly fought people before, sometimes to the death. They've certainly been in mines quite a bit. What they haven't done is fought people in mines while the mines are flooding. And I think that combination coupled with Miffy's words, you do see like a little bit of a murmur of unease through them, but not enough to like make them look, not enough that they look like they're going to break easily. If
That's
that
okay.
Makes sense, right?
You know, that's all right,
And so,
because
like,
mostly... Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, mechanically speaking, I've marked one morale harm on them, and how that works. It's basically an extra health bar that NPCs have. If that morale bar fills up, and then you know, intimidate them or whatever again, then they're going to flee, surrender, or whatever. You know, makes sense to the moment, right?
So this is... Sorry.
So basically, it's a mental health bar for them, right?
Okay.
So you see that they are a little shaken, but it's a bar that has multiple steps, and they're one step into it, right?
Mm-hmm. So what I was trying to say is that it's good. Like, I'm glad that I have marked some damage on their morale. However, this is also distraction tactic for Arrow.
Right.
I have definitely more to say in character if Arrow needs more time or what.
So I guess for distraction tactic, I guess are you? Yeah. You. I think what I want you to do is roll tricks. So you can say what it is you want to say, but generally the trick idea is you're trying to either get Noemi riled up or just so focused on you and not on keeping her eye on the passages, etc. Sound good?
Oh yeah, sorry, I had my mic turned off. Yep, sounds good. Shall I continue my rant?
Yeah, you can continue your rant and then hit the dice after.
All right, yeah. Let me tell you something a little bit about the company, see? Yeah, I used to work for them, just like you all are, huh? I was good, too. Did a bunch of jobs for them. In fact, Noemi here visited my cell just recently, seeing if I could be useful. But I'm done playing that game. I'm done playing by the company's rules, because you know why? They'll spit you out and throw you, and next thing you know, you'll be in jail for something you actually didn't do.
You tired of being nice?
No, I mean,
Katie!
oh, yes, hello.
Katie, hello. Hi, Katie. I'm waving.
Noemi will
Welcome.
look to Miffy during this, this rant, and there will be the look of acknowledgement, right? Oh, now I understand. Just a bitter, jaded employee who couldn't make it work.
Ooh.
I see.
Yeah, I bet you see. I bet you know everything about my situation, right? Because you're the one holding the sword right now.
I think that's the perfect time to roll Trick to see if she does know everything about the situation or not.
That would be, yes. Oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, go ahead. All right, I'm
That's
trying
you.
to help Arrow here, you know?
Yes. So basically, Trick. In this case, with Trick, right? You are going to either be, on a hit, Arrow will have an opportunity. But I also want to give Ember and Co a chance to move as well. So we might.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's give you your roll.
Oh fudge.
Okay, so that's not great. Let's also, while we're getting the rolls out, since there might be 3 rolls here, Milo, why don't you roll luck? Why don't you roll luck based for the for what's going on back here?
Okay, cool.
You can just roll your own luck because I think there is going to be a -1 because Carlo is much better equipped than the miners, right? So the birds do have an
So
advantage.
I just rolled, it's a 6 plus -1.
Oh, sorry. I meant like it was going to be -1 anyway. So your luck of already -1 is it is relevant. All right. And so before we resolve those two, Ember, you arrived. You saw this. Miffy's in the middle of making an opening for Arrow. Are you beelining it for the lift? Are you going for the contraption with your allies? Where are you going?
Oh dear. With what breath she has, she's going to scream, "They're leaving without us."
All right, so you're gonna scream. You're trying to also draw attention to yourself.
Draw attention to ourselves, make the people behind me rethink their alliances. Just generally causing chaos.
All right. So give me your trick and NPC roll, and we'll see if we're 3 for 3 misses because that would be very funny.
All right, we'll see.
I believe.
What
Very
this
funny,
is,
GM. We're gonna die.
I already have ideas of how the different aspects of this are going to play out. Right? None of these rolls are going to negate the
Wrong
others.
hit.
Strong hit.
Wrong.
All right.
Good job.
So, all of these things are happening in rapid succession, right? Like the fight's going on up here. We still don't know the outcomes of it specifically, but something's happening up there. We'll get to the details a little bit later. But Miffy makes that comment about, like, "Oh, you think you know all about me, huh?" And Noemi gives that. Like Noemi takes a step forward, brandishes the sword, and gives that. "Yes, I do." Dives into the water and with her otter aquatics swims around behind and
Nani?
gives Arrow a nice stab through with the blade.
No, not Arrow.
Now here's what's
It should have been me.
gives Arrow a nice stab through and throws them to the side. Arrow's still alive but barely. And luckily, Ember, your shouting draws Noemi's attention just long enough for Arrow to scuttle off this way, off onto the other side of the mines, or of the loading area. But Arrow is now extremely hurt. Doesn't look like that they could survive down in the mines on their own with the flooding in their current state, right? But they're currently stumbling away to escape the blade as. When Noemi realizes that they're moving away, makes the quick call to get back to the lift. Your mercenaries behind you, they do come out and they start to panic a little bit, but then they see at least the captain's still on there. The lift isn't currently moving, but they are panicking a little bit as they're we gotta go. Oh, look at the big thing. We gotta go.
I love the little panic motions you're doing for them. Oh god, fuck.
Fucking guys, water.
Guys, there's so
Guys,
much water.
guys.
There's a big digging machine. There's this. Meanwhile, the former Lord of Ironroot is like, under my leadership, the mines would not be flooded. Certainly.
Oh.
All right.
He was trying to drain the mines, not flood them.
Yeah. All right. So, team, I'm gonna hide these guys real quick. I think the sounds of combat were long since drowned out by the water, right?
Or they all found a way out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna end that. We're gonna hide them for now, but that situation has been resolved, and the resolution may be on its way towards you. Ember, these canaries are heading towards the lift. Kula probably like looks at you like we can still make it. Come on, you know. It's like you just said like they're leaving without us, and Kula's like really like hustling. It's like they haven't left us yet. Let's go. You know. So are you going with them, or are you going to your allies? They are unsettled, but not you know. The lift isn't moving, right? That's keeping them from being too panicked. But much like before, I am marking morale harm when it makes sense. So, like, definitely Kula and the mercenary here are more shaken by Ember's calls. And actually, you know what? So is the noble. The noble's also shaken.
Fair. Oh man. Okay, so the question here is, where am I going?
Yeah. Where are you going as the one currently in the back of the group? Are you meeting up with the rest of your group, or are you going with the people who you were just leading over to the lift?
I will start following the people I was with, but like trip beside my crew. Like, I can't. It's gonna be convincing, but it's on purpose.
Like the wettest child's cough.
Oh God, yes.
You know how they do?
Like,
She's
I assume
sopping wet. She's exhausted. She's panicked.
Is your goal just to like give yourself plausible deniability to be further behind?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So like it's not suspicious. I think that's fair. Given the chaos and the distress you just caused, certainly they'll at least make it this far before they're able to turn around and notice. All right. So yeah, I'll put the unconscious mercenary and the former lord over here. We got everyone on the lift, except for Arrow, who's like over here
Arrow.
bleeding like crazy. Are you guys waiting for everyone else?
I mean, we wouldn't know. Like, me and Mithy wouldn't know if anyone else was out there, so I'm gonna go to
You know they
Ember.
were fighting at some point, but
I'm gonna go to Amber and I'll look her square in the eyes and go, "Is that everyone?"
That's all I could find.
All right, I hop off the killdozer. They're heading to the lift. All right, let's move out.
all right. So you guys are all heading over.
You know
I mean, I don't.
if there is a lever down here at all.
To recall the lift?
Yeah.
I think there probably is, but whether or not it's functional is questionable since it's currently underwater.
Right.
It might be a little
right.
bit hard to pull properly.
Well, I don't want to pull it. I want to break it.
Oh, well,
Wait, break it in what manner? Because you
I
know,
wanna
like
get-
in
I
Star
wanna get
Wars,
on
when
the
you
lift. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get on the lift and I'm gonna break it before anybody else can go on.
so no, we can't go up.
No, we'll go up, but we can't. They can't recall it down.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
So if there are any survivors, they can't get help. Got it.
They got a good. Sorry, they're dead already. They're dead. Bye.
Rip, I guess.
I mean, like, right? Because either they, like, Arrow's too far away. They're never gonna make it unless they find a place. Like, I know Mordio was saying that there might be like something downstream or whatever. Like, they could find that, but they're not gonna get here on time.
Yeah, like unless you guys do something, Arrow was just sneaking up on the captain. The captain noticed, stabbed them. Probably not gonna let Arrow crawl back onto the platform conscious, right? If Arrow gets on there, Arrow is getting beaten unconscious at minimum. Right?
And Noemi's behind us, so we can go first, and I could attempt to.
Noemi's on the lift.
How's she on the lift? She just went and attacked someone.
Because that person was right next to the lift.
Wait, where's the? I'm confused. Oh wait, the gray platform's the lift, right?
Yep. Arrow was right here, and so Noemi swam off, stabbed, swam back, and then Arrow moved.
I was confused about like where everything is. My bad.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are heading over.
Yeah.
All right.
If we were okay, never mind. You know what? All right, I'm gonna stop. I'll do my O's plan.
All right. You all get back on the lift, leaving the tunneler behind.
Oh, maybe Arrow can take the tunneler and get out of here.
Yeah, they are currently on the opposite side of that, but it is theoretically possible.
Yeah, all right. It's like leaving the cookies up for Santa. You know?
You are now...
Right, it's exactly like that.
You are now surrounded by blades. The lift begins to rise. And as it's maybe like halfway up, right? This is like a big open chamber, and then it will go up and eventually like enter a shaft where you have the rock walls around you for a bit.
Yep.
So maybe you're about halfway up when you see Carlo Brightwing and some canaries, albeit injured canaries, certainly. And Carlo looks like he's got a bumper to himself. Emerge from the cavern, and they see you guys in the lift, and suddenly you realize you scattered all of the canaries, and very quickly they have reconvened. You are now very close to being completely outnumbered once again. What are you guys doing now? Do you do anything before the lift reaches the top? Or are you going to let it?
I go, whoa, Captain, looks like some of your boys are about to make it through. I think we should go back down.
She'll look to you, look at the lift full of people, and look to Brightwing. Oh, I'm sure Brightwing will be fine for a couple minutes. Besides, he has some fishing to do, and she'll like nudge in the direction of Arrow.
Minutes? No, honey. When she says that, I'm gonna look around at the other mercenaries and go like, see? With my gestures.
I go, I'm gonna do, can I do persuade NPC?
Depends, what are you trying to persuade and who?
I want to do it to Kula.
Alright, and what do you...
Wait, actually, no, wait, hold on. I need to check. Can I do it to the one that's closest to Miffy?
Just like the random unnamed mercenary?
Yeah, because I think I threw a dick. I think I fucking pegged the guard with an arrow that was right next to Kula, so I don't think they're going to be the most receptive to what I got to say.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Alright, so persuade.
What are you trying to persuade? Like,
I'm going to turn to them and go, be awful cold, ain't it? Could have been you down there. Only someone could change that. Is that too vague, or have to be like more pointed?
I mean, I get what you're going for. You're trying to appeal to their like sense of charity towards their coworkers, right? All right, I think you can, and you're trying to get them to pull the lever themselves.
Yeah. Maybe step past the gap, and not like even attack them, but like power move pulls the lever back down. Okay, wish me luck.
Woo!
Ooh, a strong hit. Now, Milo, you were the one giving a rather inspiring story in the mines the other day, something that you used to help prep this exact escape attempt, as chaotic as it might be. And this mercenary likely heard your performance then, and to hear those words from you now, it does seem rather
I was
It's
just
fire.
talking about the mine flooding and how the captain like left them all to die.
Right.
And, like that guy, it really resonated with that guy. It's like if that were me, I would never let that happen.
Mhm.
Great hit.
Yeah, and so when you say that, this canary echoes something that, even though they didn't hear Kula say it earlier, because again, you weren't saying to Kula or the other one. I think Ember was the only one there at that
Well,
point.
I'm trying to avoid
right?
eye contact with Kula.
Yeah, the sentiment expressed is similar, right? Just like they look to the captain and to the lever and say, "We have room. We can get everyone." And like you said earlier, they're worth more alive than dead, right? And they'll pull the lever down. They'll pull the lever, and it will start lowering.
Pull the lever.
Oh, oh.
All right, so the lever will start lowering, and you'll get back down to the water as the canaries get closer. What are you guys doing?
We let them on.
Okay.
Come on, Mordio. It was an altruistic thing right there.
All right.
And Arrow can now be, get it themselves, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So unless you guys do anything else, we're gonna begin our ascent with this crew.
Ugh.
We're gonna
God.
leave the mouse behind.
Who asked me? I think it was Nomi who said asked where Carla was.
Sorry, asked what was?
I think
where
they
Carla
were
was?
asking where
Yeah.
Brightwing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you were in such a hurry to find him, you almost took out without him. Didn't seem that concerned, but what do I know?
I just
give
wanted to
a
make
wink.
sure he wasn't dead. As long as he wasn't dead, I knew he would still. Well, he would be doing his job to the best of his abilities, and he was.
Must feel good then. No, you got two less letters to write.
She does not like that you just manipulated one of her subordinates against her, but she does not complain about outnumbering you guys further on the lift. So she'll gesture again to start raising it up. And up you guys go, it sounds like.
We're just gonna get locked up again.
We did a reset. But you know what? It's like playing a roguelike, you know? Sometimes.
No.
Just like Binding of Isaac. Sometimes your next run is gonna be the one.
No.
I think Ember is gonna just like faint.
I'm gonna turn back to the Lord of Ironroot and go, good to see you in one piece, my lord. Don't know what these men would do without you.
I'm glad to be in one piece as well. It is a shame that poor Arrow perished in these terrible mines.
Oh, it's a tragic shame. You know,
Meanwhile, Arrow's still just like swimming as the lifts. Oh my gosh! As the lift's going up.
my lord,
It's like I can still hear them.
oh god, the leeches. Well, if you happen to need a new attendant, sure, someone will be kind enough to oblige.
Oh my god.
All right,
He's
go up.
like, oh, such things will have to wait until drier days, I think. And up you guys go. Once you enter the part where like the walls have closed in around you, Noemi, Brightwing, and the mercenaries will move in and give the drop your weapons command. I assume everyone disarms at this point.
Ember fell on the ground earlier with
Oh,
a
yeah.
wet plop.
Yes, that's true. You pretended to faint.
Yeah, she is sopping wet and not moving.
You know what? I don't think I'm going to make you roll for that one. I think that's very fair, given the scenario. So, you know what? we'll say that, especially because you already said that you were going to do that. So I think that's perfectly fair. You're just, and you know what? Maybe even Kula, who has at least some level of, I don't want to say affection, but like, care for you. You've built a rapport of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did in fact go back for them, so they'll like be over here checking on you, but you've pulled this kind of thing before for sure, so it's not something that will pop up. That like you can pass as unconscious for a good bit. So I think Kula probably checks, makes sure you're breathing, and like relaxes a little bit. But for the rest of you, certainly Champenois is not one to, as he said before, he's not a particularly great fighter, so I don't remember if he has weapons.
He doesn't
but if he
have
does,
a weapon.
He doesn't
He
have
only
anything.
had armor.
Yeah. Alright, so he's just gonna, hands up. I think the remaining mice either didn't have weapons or anything that they might have picked up will also be dropped. That mainly leaves Miffy and Milo. You dropping your weapons?
Yep.
I severely don't want to.
I mean, it's ultimately up to you if that's what you're going to do or not, though unfortunately at the moment you are surrounded by people who probably won't take kindly to not.
What do I have on me? Let me see. I have
Oh
a
my
cutlass.
gosh. Does the former Lord of Ironroot still have the weapon I gave him?
Oh, probably. And honestly, he's probably hidden it and is pretending he's unarmed.
Amazing.
He's like got it up his fancy jacket.
Oh my god.
If anyone looked closely, they would see like one of his shoulders is a little too stiff, but no one's paying him much attention at the moment. All right. So Milo is Miffy. I know you said you really don't want to, but I'm going to need a yes or a no.
They're gonna have to make me.
Ooh, damn.
All right.
Character choice.
All right. So let's. I think upon seeing that you are not willing to relinquish your blade, you said you have a cutlass, right?
Yeah. It's intimate, close,
Right.
parry, vicious strike.
So I think what happens is she, like Noemi, sees that you're still holding on to it, and would give like a very patronizing sort of tisk. I think my microphone didn't pick it up when I did the sound effect with my mouth, but just. I thought you just said you left your company days behind, and here you are clinging to them so tightly.
This isn't my company. This isn't my company experience telling me. This is all me, baby. And if you want to get this blade from me, you're gonna have to take it the hard way. But I promise you, I won't make it easy. And I'd sure hate to cause a scuffle right here on this tiny bit of piece of wood that's taking us upstairs.
She would look to the collection of mercenaries around and say, you know what? I think the company can afford a scuffle. Carlo. And so Carlo's going to move in. Now, Miffy, you kept your weapon, so I'm going to let you choose how you act to Carlo closing into your personal space.
I'm gonna let him get as close as he wants to me. And once he's there, I'm going to stab him.
All right. Katie, showing the camera my I Love Miffy t-shirt. All right. Miffy, you are
Your
going...
Miffy saved me.
All right. So you are engaging in melee. So roll your engage in melee.
Okay, where is that again?
That is under weapon moves. It's past your playbook ones. You have basic and playbook.
Oh,
and then
okay, weapon moves. Engage in melee.
Oh my.
Ooh, strong hit. Trade harm. And then pick 3. So first,
Oh, you have
let's
choices.
pick 3 from your list.
All right.
So the list is inflict serious harm, so deal 2 damage. Suffer
Okay, I
little
know
harm.
exactly what I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna inflict serious harm. I'm gonna suffer little harm, and I'm going to impress, or well, I guess frighten my foes here.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that quick stab.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I'm gonna do that quick stab, and do it really deftly, showing my like real company experience, or maybe a little smirk to Noemi there, like, yeah, I got some moves when I'm cornered, and then go, anybody else? Come on down.
You definitely will. So what I'm going to do is so you inflict 2 harm on Carlo Brightwing. Part of that is absorbed by his armor, but I don't remember. I think it was it Milo earlier? I don't remember. Someone either shot him with an arrow or slapped him with the machine. So he was already hurt from earlier on. So he's not looking great after this initial stab, and his armor is damaged. So I think what really sells your, like anyone else, is the fact that Carlo realizes that you were able to slip through his guard. He tries to parry, but because you took the don't take harm one, you don't get hit in return. And then he backs up, and I think that back step is what inflicts the morale damage to the surrounding mercenaries, right? They see their leader take a step back.
You thought I was washed up, Noemi? Oh, no. They just couldn't handle me anymore. And I don't think you can either.
Ooh, all right, taunting her specifically. All right, let's see. I think she might have something special she can do, but I need to double check. Where did I put that?
I don't know what I'm doing. Miffy is controlling me, and they're gonna die.
Here, the Biffy lives in us all. Inside your
Miffy
mind.
may, in fact, be
One is
about
Mickey,
to die.
one is Miffy.
Let's see. Okay, all right. No, this is nothing. This is. I don't think this is anything too special. But she'll step forward and say, "Certainly more than some in the company can handle, it seems. But they've been working night shift and have been just toiling under chaos that, if I had to guess, was of your design. Not all of us are so exhausted." And so she's going to come in and try to trade blows with you as well. So roll that engage in melee a second time, this time with her.
I'm not gonna roll as well. So, what's the difference between that and Vicious Strike?
Vicious Strike, you need to have them vulnerable, right?
Okay, when do they get vulnerable?
Narratively so. This is you've pinned someone to the ground and have them restrained. This is you've snuck up to someone and they don't know you're there. This is you've poisoned them and they don't, like they're disoriented. You need to do something to make them especially weakened or vulnerable, right?
I'm just, that's fine, but I just am reading like when you viciously strike, is that text saying it's saying intimate or close range? Does that not count towards this at all? Is there like a different descriptor?
Right. So if you look at engage in melee, and this is an important distinction I think for Root in general, is it is a more narrative game. So every word in there has narrative meaning, not just mechanical one, right? So the where they are weak requires you either knowing a weak spot, right? Aside from just like I stab them in the heart because that or in the face, right? You have to create something that makes them weakened.
Maybe it's not on my maybe it's not on the weapon moves because I don't see these. Okay, no, never mind. Where they are weak, but I understand. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Okay.
Yes,
I will do engage in melee now.
Yep. I did that roll as you take a duel. Weak hit, you get to pick one.
I'm going to decide to reduce harm.
All right. You reduce harm.
Wait, what did they have? Hold on. Can I help?
Can you help?
Like,
would you be help? How would Milo the pacifist be helping in this scuffle? I guess is the question, right? Because you've been trying to not fight. And this is literally clashing swords, right? So you would be getting in between the clashing of swords if you wanted to help. But if that's something you want to do, you can certainly take the exhaustion.
Can I?
I mean, can we? Sorry, go on.
Can I, as the captain is rushing towards Miffy, kind of like? I guess we're not technically that close together, like physically. On the like, Miffy's not like just right up next to me, shoulder to shoulder. So.
Yeah. All right. So here's what's going to happen with you, Miffy. So the Captain Noemi deals more than 1 damage, so you do reduce the harm taken, but you also take an exhaustion. And
Sure.
the harm
Yeah.
that you deal is absorbed by her armor. So she doesn't quite take a wound, although you cut away some of her gear. She looks at you. She looks at you. Well, you do certainly have some skill. So I might even believe you when you say that you were a little bit too much for the company. Just someone who couldn't quite play by the rules, perhaps? But how long can you keep doing that all by yourself, I wonder? She's appraising you. Remember, if your exhaustion fills up, you pass
Right,
out.
I take injury. Oh, I thought I can take injury though.
Oh yeah. Sorry. It depends on what does it. You can take injury depending on what will do it. But if it fills up and someone pushes you over, like if they were to use a non-lethal thing, like a bonk, you would pass out.
How far are we up the shaft though? With all this talk?
You're probably getting there. Like you're getting close. You're getting close. Probably one more exchange, not necessarily of violence, but at least of words, right? So you've had this exchange. From the skills involved, Miffy, like you don't feel outmatched from one of them, but like the other mercenaries have their weapons ready. They're waiting for the order, and Noemi looks like she's toying with you, at least at the moment. She knows she has her fellows behind her, and they could back her up at any moment. So she's willing to get a look, right? She hasn't bled yet, so.
Of course. You think I'm intimidated by numbers? I've always been alone, and I always get out. And this is no exception.
Are you gonna dive at her?
Yeah, I'm gonna go dive at her again. I don't think my chances are very good.
Yeah, go for it. Take your next swing.
Oh, sorry. There it is.
A weak hit, same thing.
It's alright. I'm going to... Actually, I want to do Intimidate. Yeah.
Alright. Impress, dismay, or frighten your foe. Alright.
I want the rest of these mercenaries to think I'm batshit crazy, because I am. And I want them to not want to get involved in this.
Alright, so I think... So that will work.
I'm going to take an injury.
You take an injury and an exhaustion.
Alright, well, exhaustion is full.
You do manage, and so nothing happens until you would take another one, right? So you're fine for now. The mercenaries will take that extra morale. They are looking very, very much shaken by your by your performance against their boss, who now you do get a hit in on Noemi, right? So the two of you clash blades. She gets a much more severe hit in on you, but you get a more severe hit on her. So each of you draws away a bit of your fur matted with blood. I assume to either resume circling or step back, but then there's like that heavy boom as the lift reaches the top, and Noemi will step back and like make the motion as if she's starting to put her sword away. Like, well, seems like we're out of time for playing. Canaries, put that mouse to sleep for a while, will you? And so the canaries are going to move in. Miffy, you can tell they're extremely shaken, but they're like right on the border, but they still need to follow those orders for now. You this is your chance to try to convince them to either scatter or something before they close in on you, because if this many close in on you, it's going to not be great, we'll say. But, you know.
Okay. I have 2 thoughts.
All right, what are your 2 thoughts?
My 2 thoughts. You ready? You ready for this?
Okay.
My 2 thoughts are, 1, the more reasonable thing. I'm going to wreck something, which is whatever's closest to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're on top now. There should be more things around me, like a chair or something. I don't know. Busting down some kind of thing to intimidate. Or I'm going to go right up to Killian Champenois and put the knife to his throat and take him as hostage.
Both excellent strategies.
Ooh.
I do like both of them. I would also, when you said the closest thing to you, my first thought was that you were talking about the lever in the center of the platform that they were using before, that you were just going to kick it and drop everyone back into the water. That's what I thought you were going to say. But the other 2 that you came up with are so much more sane than that. So,
Take your cutlass and like boomerang, throw it across and up to like the rope holding the elevator up, and it'll just like send us going down.
I mean,
I gave her ideas. Oh no.
I could do that too. Nah, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for which one I do. So if I if I roll a 2, then I'm gonna do the hostage situation. If I roll a 1, I'm just gonna wreck something.
Do it.
Wreck.
I'm taking someone hostage.
all right. So the mercenaries start to close in around you. They expect you to fight or maybe do something twitchy because you are, you know, like that's what you were doing. The captains moved in. You stood up. You fought back. So that's what they're expecting. They're readying themselves for that. They're not ready for you to jump over and grab someone you were trying to escape with. Let's hear Miffy's pitch for why this hostage is important. And like, well, in your threats,
Sure.
of course.
Yeah. You might be prepared to deal with me, though it doesn't look like you're too ready for that. Maybe your captain can, but can you guys? And maybe I am too much trouble. I flooded the whole entire place, didn't I? And I'm not giving up this knife. But how well can you do without this pretty little kitty of yours, huh? You know, they were real smart. You really wanted them to get that machine done, didn't ya? I don't think any other of the marquee are gonna be as easy to grab as this one. I think you want this one alive too. You've kept it all me and the rest alive, and I know you would have really loved to ram that through me, would ya? But what about Killian, huh? So why don't you all step back, and I'll make my merry way out, huh?
All right, I think this is time for your plead roll when you are threatening. When you're threatening them.
You're doing it.
You're doing it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Wait.
Not
did
sorry.
that not...
Not plead, persuade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Plead
okay.
is specifically for a player character.
Oh, sorry. Persuade. Okay.
That also just knock her out immediately.
I mean, you can. Yeah, go ahead and do that if you want to do that.
No, I'm saying, like, if you did it, you would, like, top out your exhaustion, you would probably pass out, right?
No. So when you plead with a PC to go along with you, they heal 1 exhaustion if they agree to you. So basically, you reward your fellow players for having their character do something that you want to do, right?
Okay, okay, I got it mixed up. Never mind.
Yeah. All right.
Wrong hit.
I think the universe wants Miffy to win.
Yeah, honestly, Miffy, you had some good rolls on this ascent, for sure. I think there's this brief stillness as the mercenaries like look at you taking this hostage. They freeze, and there's like a beat before they turn to Noemi.
Ooh.
who looks at you, Miffy.
And I
looks
look
you
at
very
her.
closely.
And she looks at me.
And look at
And I look at her.
You're right, Mouse. That cat is more valuable alive than you are captured. At least for now. She'll nod to the mercenaries, who will part to let you have a path towards the door.
Mm-hmm. Well, wonderful. That means I get to keep Killian with me.
you NPC.
And we're gonna leave. It's like, maybe you got some brains after all. How do the French say it, Killian? And I like shake them a little bit like we're pals, but still have the knife to their neck, you know, right? How do the French say it, Killian? Arrivederci! Oh my god!
All will it do for much?
Oh man.
All right.
Ember's
Wait,
gonna
I
be
need to give
waking-
some context to anybody viewing this.
Okay.
I have like a proficiency in French, okay? So
This is an intentional, character choice.
goodbye.
Oh man, yeah. Ember is waking up during all of this yelling, you know, quote, waking up, and is just like, what? Oh my
No.
god.
Like it was so insane that you actually lift your head from fake fainting and go, what the hell?
Yeah, so Milo and Ember, are you just sprinting out with Miffy? It's like everyone's like, there's this tense moment. Miffy's starting to back up. Everyone's like, whoa, take it easy, man. Don't stab the hostage. You two just sprint and gun it, or like, what's your thoughts here?
I turn to the former Lord of Ironroot, and I ask him, our agreement was to the top of the lift, right?
Oh no.
He looks at you with like slightly narrowed eyes. Like, wait a minute. He just like gestures vaguely at all of these birds. That's perhaps not the word, or perhaps the letter, but to
And
the
we've
spirit.
come to terms. Mercy Goku, and I do a little like
Mercy
heel
Goku.
click, and if I do a quick like strum of my leg violin, and I head out with Miffy.
Ember.
My favorite.
Ember's gonna be
Overwatch
out of it
Dragon
and
Ball.
just like, what are we? Oh, we're at the top, and just she's gonna start sprinting like she is still panicked about all of the water and is
Right.
trying to flee for her life.
Yeah,
And the
that's
Sequoia.
that's fair. So the three of you start to leave, and as you reach the door, Noemi just calls out, see you tomorrow, Champenois. And lets you leave through the door.
Oh god.
That's ominous.
All right. Let's.
None of the other mice or former lord try to do anything.
The former lord, I don't think feels capable, and he's on the other side of the mercenaries. I don't know if they feel brave enough to run with you, especially because they still have weapons at them. They feel like it looks like they're being treated as a separate entity than Miffy and Milo, who seem to be more aligned. I think Ember, though you're fleeing, there's at least some sense, and we'll get to the mechanics of it in a moment, that you may have avoided through your actions, you may have avoided the notoriety of the rest of your party.
Yes.
Good job. They need a stealth soldier.
Yeah.
So I
Yep,
burned off my
for my
fingerprints on the hot
panic. All
potty
makes
grill at
sense.
Benihana.
Yeah, I'm going to move us out into the clearing. As
Suddenly beautiful now.
yeah, you make it
That's what
outside.
the sun looks like.
The day, like the sun is just rising since you started your escape in the middle of the night.
He wants breakfast.
You make your way outside. I assume you guys are trying to, like, once you're out, like, flee relatively quickly from town, right? Like, surely you don't want to stick around long.
Yeah,
But the
and to
town
be
is-
clear, as soon as we're like above, I'd be like, "Thanks for your participation. Sorry if I scared you. Haha."
Well, they will see her today, or see them today.
He says, I was sure that it was a ploy. Well, mostly.
Do I
I hope.
believe that?
No, he corrects himself over the next couple of sentences. He's like, mostly. I hoped. Right? Just like, it's like, no. He was definitely worried about it. But understandable. We're good now. You'll be wanting to get out of town as soon as possible, I assume.
That's right. Well, what about you? Are you actually gonna see her tomorrow? Because I'd advise not, personally.
I don't have much of a choice. They have my father as a prisoner here as well.
Aw, fudge.
If it was just myself, I would
don't know
not
if you knew
work
them. Their
on.
name was Arrow.
Yes,
The
this
mouse?
cat's father was the mouse named Arrow.
They were adopted.
Yes, you're
They were
right. You're-
roommates.
If it was just myself, I would have endured whatever torture and not worked on those clockworks for them, but I think I do have to return. I don't know exactly where they are keeping him. I don't think it's in the mines. He's too old for that, but well, they won't be able to use that tunneler, at least, now that it's been submerged. So,
You can
least-
say you were threatened. They'd believe you.
that's true, but I don't think they would harm him. I'm just worried about him.
Well, why did you agree to escape with us in the first place if you were just gonna turn around and help them still?
I was hopeful that I could find out where he was in the process and get him as well. I understand now that may have been a bit ambitious for our capabilities.
Ember over here is wringing out her tail, still sopping wet.
Look, if you
What's
want,
your paw's name?
if your head, my father, his name is. Let me check my NPC list.
Your padre, if you will, in your native tongue.
Padre.
Your Nona.
Well, you're
Oh my
no.
gosh.
His name is Benoit. And
Your Hime-chan. We're looking for.
Benoit?
You're
Benoit.
fuck.
If you-
Benoit?
yeah,
Like,
Benoit. Like Bennett Benoit.
Benoit.
yeah, like that guy.
Or, no, Benoit Blanc
Yeah, right? Yeah.
from Glass Onion.
Yeah.
he sighs. You're right though. If you say you were threatened, or if I say I was threatened, I don't think they would do anything to him. If you're heading towards the Marquise yet, I can go with you and put in a good word. But I think that's as far as I'd be able to go. And if you're going anywhere else, I don't like my chances in Erie territory or in the woodlands, in the forests. Even though I just
don't-
put. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I just don't want to be wet anymore.
Well, the sun is rising. I'd say
How's that
find a
been?
nice rooftop to dry on, but you may want to move a little bit more swiftly than that. And even though we just went to this little clearing, it might be good also to. I believe you guys have the map of the woodlands at the top, so you can choose to go there if you'd like. So I'm gonna leave. I'll leave the stream on the clearing while you guys talk for a little bit, and I'll move over if necessary. But
Cool. I've also still got a baton and the keys.
Anyone want a free set of keys? Anyone would want to buy keys? There we go. Who knows what they go to?
Right?
mystery keys.
Ember invents the loot box.
Mhm. You guys also don't have much in the way of supplies, which I'll draw attention to your depletion bar on each of you, which is at 3 out of 4. That is basically, rations, miscellaneous, adventuring equipment, etc. So you don't have a lot of that stuff either. Which means that traveling through the forest would certainly be more difficult than along the roads. But of course, along the roads, you might run into patrols or things like that.
Shit.
So,
So-
I'm thinking, like, we could take them up on their offer to put in a good word for us at what you said, Dion's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go to
down.
Dijon's.
Dijon mustard.
All right. Well, if that's the case, do we want to take our break here and then come back with you guys and actually, think a little bit about what, if anything, you want to do in town before you go to prepare for your journey? And then we'll come back in 5 minutes to resume and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good. Break time.
All right. Break time. We will be back in 5. All right, we're back in that 4-minute and 30-second break. So, team, as I think I heard Milo say just as I was getting us set up, you all want to look for supplies, and now certainly you are welcome to do so, just knowing that you are on a time pressure and probably don't have the leeway to be as thorough as you might like, right? So I guess it comes down to how are you getting your supplies, right? Like, are you just dumping what little valuables you have in your pockets? Because like I've mentioned a couple times, you weren't like formally fully processed yet, right, in the prison, right? They did search you and take stuff, but they took like weapons and things, but they weren't able to take everything. Like Milo, you had your tambourine and you're able to keep either hidden away in pockets or little hidden pouches somewhere in the collars of your clothes. Milo and Miffy, you both have a couple bits of value left. Ember, you had 0 value on your character sheet to begin with. I don't know if that was intentional. It might have been intentional. I should have checked that before. I'll take a quick right now. Oh no, okay, yeah, you have some. Yeah, I guess we just didn't set it. So yeah, I'll give Ember. You'll have a couple as well. Miffy's playbook started with more than normal, so. So Ember and Milo, you both start with 2 value, and Miffy, you've got 4. That's basically the coins you have hidden on your person, or like something small, like a nice little art object, like a nicely made ring or whatever that you were able to keep that you could barter and trade stuff for. So if you guys just want to, let's see, I believe there's a move for. There might be a move for. What is it? No, that's command resources. Is there one for actually resupply? No, I'm thinking of a different game. My apologies. I'm thinking of Ironsworn. That one has a move for resupply. That's the problem when you run too many games that are similar but not quite the same. So if you guys just want to like dump all of your money into getting supplies, you can certainly do so.
What kind of supplies are important for this kind of game? Like, do we need to keep track of rations, carrying capacity, bedrolls?
So basically all generic sort of supplies, rations, like tents, rope, things like that, those are all represented in your depletion bar, right? So if your depletion is completely empty, so if you have 4 depletion remaining, I don't know, it's kind of hard to use empty versus full, right?
Yeah.
But like when you are depleted, you have no more rations or tools or things. When you have no depletion, you have tons of rations and tools and things, is the way to, right? The kind of stuff that you can carry on your person.
So sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say the only carrying weight you worry about is there is distinct equipment, right? So things like Miffy, your sword and the armor you're wearing, or like Milo, your tambourine, right? Let me see, Ember, you also have a couple weapons, Ember, so... Oh, wait. Yeah, when did you pick those up? You kept both of those, right? Or did you pass one of those off to the...
I gave the sharp one to the Marquis to
right.
try and get him to break
Or
his
the eerie guy,
up.
yeah. All right. So, there you go. So you still have one, right? So, equipment that is more granular, so it's mainly weapons, armor, or things that are really special, will take up carrying capacity, which is a lot more it's a very low number, right? So you can usually carry somewhere between 3 to 5 things. I think Miffy can go up to 6 things. So right now most of you have 2 or one or two items. So, you can certainly afford. This is a smithing sort of town, so if you want to pick up something else while you're here real quick, rather than supplies, you're more than welcome to spend your value on that. But you guys are vagabonds, and you were just, you were just imprisoned. You could just steal your stuff or try to steal your stuff. If you're going around just stealing stuff, you may have an encounter with the guards a little bit faster than otherwise, right? So there are trade-offs to that approach. But
how much? God.
Yeah. It's generally speaking, depending on how far you're going and how you're traveling, just to give you some benchmarks, I suppose, right? Is that if you're at if you're traveling through the forest and you're booking it, you're not stopping to resupply or forage or anything like that, you mark exhaustion and depletion, right? But you don't you mark one of each, right? There's not multiple depletions, and you don't need to mark depletion when you're traveling by road, because you can generally forage on road, near the road relatively safely, right? So, or let's see, band collectively decides one member for the group. Just making sure. Yeah, so for roads, if you travel fast, you don't mark depletion. The only thing that marks depletion is taking a long time. And that is actually also true for the forest, right? If you take longer through the forest, you might... Or no, sorry, the forest you forage if you take longer. Sorry, we're doing this for the first time, and I'm rereading them now. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we get supplies, does that get rid of a depletion?
Basically, yes. Yep. So you will quote unquote heal your depletion by getting resupplied. And now, and just add a little bit of, again, because this is our first time playing it, right? Another way to get your depletion refilled, right? Is you could, if you do favors for people, perhaps in a town where you're not wanted, you do ob jobs or things like that, you can get paid in depletion, right? Where they give you new supplies, or they feed you and give you more rations and things like that, right? So, generally you can get a depletion's worth of pay from your average forest person if you work for them for a day or two, right? So.
Thank you, Silver, for rooting for Miffy. Shout out to Silver.
Miffy did survive, so that's 1 point in their favor.
Miffy's our most popular character so far.
Miffy was exhausted, on the verge of passing out, but did in fact manage to fight to the point of intimidation to escape. So
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, I just want to do a proper shout out though to Black Sugar Pill, aka Silver. If you like cool art, and I mean like he draws a lot of I guess would it be appropriate to say furry, but like furry creatures like this but gory. Check them out. Shout out. Hold on. Black Sugar Pill. There we go.
Ooh.
Boom.
Nice.
All right. Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Yeah, so you guys definitely don't. So you don't need supplies, right? If you assume you're traveling along the road at a quick pace. That does have repercussions for the rolls you need to make for traveling, right?
Yeah,
But-
I might say in the forest we can forage and avoid detection.
That is true, though I will say if you're heading to Dion's Den, you're probably going to run into Marquisiate soldiers, and if you have Champenois with you, that makes detection a little bit easier. We're not easier, but like a little bit less impactful. But you're right, if you go through the forest, you can forage, especially if you go slowly. But the forest is more dangerous than the road, right? So that is the trade-off there. So if you roll poorly in the forest, you could run into anything from... I mean, granted, you could run into bandits on the road too. It's just a little bit less likely. But you could run into bandits. You could run into environmental hazards. Or you could run into a bear, which is... It's a bear. It's like a dragon. You run into a bear. It's a problem.
Dragon. That's rare.
Yeah. Why are bears not like the other sapient woodland critters? We'll never know, but they are certainly
Too big.
dangerous. Too big. Yep, too big.
Too berry.
Okay. Well, before we go, Ember is going to snag a quick trinket of some kind. Depending on what it is, she might pay for it.
All right, what kinds of
Grab a
trinkets
keychain.
are we talking here?
Like
You looking for just like an iconic souvenir kind of a deal?
yeah.
Or okay. All
You
right.
look for a bike license plate.
Mhm. I mean, you have your pick of options, right? From the easy to grab, and certainly no one will notice if one goes missing, right? Like from the chunks of ore that have been brought upwards, and just like either there are small ones that have fallen out of mine carts at various points and have not been worth it to pick up and go, but it's like, oh, well, this is a little scrap of iron from Iron Root, right? Like there's that level to going towards some of these stalls where people are actually working said metal into supplies, where you have everything from practical things like weapons to perhaps more artisanal things such as jewelry, and those certainly more expensive, a little bit more shiny.
I do like shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look over the jewelry.
Yeah, sure. Does Ember have any particular proclivities when it comes to like fancy things? Is Ember the sort who looks for clips or rings or necklaces?
I haven't decided that yet, so we can figure it out here.
Yeah, okay. Because I think with Iron Root in particular, right? So like
Mhm.
here's where a lot of the stuff is, mined out, processed, and then sent to other parts of the woodland.
Yeah.
And I think that with the Eyrie having recently recaptured the clearing, what you'd see going around is that there's a lot of stalls that are setting up that, when I say recently, I mean within the past couple months, right?
Yeah.
A lot of stalls that aren't quite full yet, but have artisans that have a lot of bird motif sort of, or eerie motif sort of stuff, right? So like there's lots of feathers, lots of wings, a lot of stuff that caters towards the newly arrived birds, or the birds who were present before but were under cat control and are now being like, we are free from the cats, I'm gonna make a bunch of bird themed stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So everything from like ear cuffs that are like little, shiny little wings that go like clip onto the ear, to that like feather, either like a single like metal worked feather necklace, or like a ring of them, or like a literal for the birds, probably like little decorations to get put onto their wing fingers that they have in this setting. So it's like, when they're in flight, they can like have like all the shines, but non-birds could wear one of them or multiple as like regular rings as well, right? But they're sort of designed so that like when you're a bird and you fly with them, it has an interesting glint or pattern to it.
Fine.
So
I am leaning towards either ear cuff or necklace. Probably whichever one is near the edge.
All right, fair enough. I mean, if you want, we can flip a coin to decide which one that is.
Do it.
All right, so let's see. We'll say 1 is the cuffs, the 2 is the necklace. All right, necklace is there.
All right.
All right, and let me take a quick look at something. I think this is probably what? Pickpocketing, I think, is the closest one, or no, sleight of hand, I suppose. Because it's not literally a pocket, right? It's a
Yeah.
yeah, sleight of hand is the one that you have, so I think that makes sense. So why don't you
pin on a pickpocket for when my turn comes up?
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So
All right.
I think everyone's turn will play out somewhat simultaneously. But let's roll and see. You will be attempting a roguish feat.
Yes.
All
right. So you manage to palm one of these necklaces, but you need to choose between marking exhaustion or I, the GM, perhaps after we've seen everyone's rolls, or what they decide to do. You all don't have to steal. You do have some money, right?
Come on.
But, this game has a whole... One of your main things is be a rogue, so I do assume that people are going to want to be a rogue at least a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
So, for...
I want to steal.
Exactly. So for sleight of hand, the risks that are listed, the types of things that might happen if you don't mark exhaustion, are draw unwanted attention, leave evidence, or get a weak result, which means that probably in this case, whatever you grab might just be lower quality, but you don't get to choose those. I get to choose one of those if you choose not to mark exhaustion. So if you know whether or not you want to mark exhaustion now, feel free to say so. But if
I am going to mark exhaustion.
All right.
I have the spares.
Fair enough. Then it is done. Sounded like Milo knew what it was.
Yeah. So should I do it now?
Yeah. What is it that you're trying to do? What are you going for?
Is there like a throng of people walking towards us or something?
I mean, this is a marketplace. It's just getting set up in the morning, but a lot of people are moving about for the day's work, right? So I think there's a sizable group of people that you can
I'm gonna
crowd through.
I'm gonna wait for someone like a looky-loo who's like waiting for a stall to be opened up. I'm gonna pickpocket them.
It's like,
hey,
nice. I assume you were with pickpocketing. You're more going just for extra funds to like try to fund your
and
purchases.
put my feelers in some coin purses.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me take a quick look at value just to get an idea, because I think this has a... Dun, 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 dun. Where would I see? Yeah, okay. So I think, people do have coin. There's a lot to barter as well. I think you're able to pick up a solid Miffy's worth of value by pickpocketing someone early in the morning. And by that I mean for value, what it is that Miffy has on hand. Right?
Okay.
So you're able to get like a solid
Miffy
4.
is priceless. I don't know if we can put a price on it. So I started with 2. Can I just up that to 6?
So you can up that to 6, which is like, from what you could tell, it's like that's a solid wallet size. Is it like a huge merchant's, cash? No, but that's something that's like you picked up someone's like change pouch, right? And that was done nice and smooth. So you have some extra funds, which I assume you're going to turn around and grab supplies with in a moment.
Yeah.
All right, Miffy, what are you doing?
Miffy thinks about stealing, but is so exhausted, then bleeding out. They're like, I can't do it today. Not today.
That's
And I get supplies, grab a drink or something. Well, what do you got on tap?
You're saying this is like the foundry. It's like, this is just a molten iron right here.
I'll take it.
Oh, God.
Glug, 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 glug. Look at my insides.
Feels like yucky. Oh, no.
I seek out a clothing stall and I get booty shorts that says a luxury you can't afford.
Acquired taste, so go acquire some taste.
Well, actually, you know what? Something I think I should point out now about your characters.
Yes.
I believe you each have a nature, right? On your
Oh yeah, I was
character
looking
sheet.
at that. I wanted to talk about that at some point.
So now I'm not saying all of your natures apply here. I didn't even know I'm only opening them now. But you do get to clear exhaustion when you appeal to your nature, right? So whether that's for Milo praising your friend to someone more powerful, right? Whether that's for Ember overindulging on vices such as drinking food or gambling, or perhaps stealing a lot of jewelry, I don't know. Or for Miffy, when you openly attack those who wronged you. So that one you probably don't want to do again so soon. You sort of did that a minute ago,
Yeah, I did that, but does that mean I get to clear exhaustion?
So it happens when you do it. So like in your case, right? So say you had 2 exhaustion and then you openly attack someone who wronged you, you would clear those 2. But then when you gained exhaustion during the fight, you wouldn't re-clear it every time, right? Like you wouldn't just be immune to exhaustion while you fought.
Right.
them.
I would do it once, but I didn't do it at any time. So would I get 7 back?
You know what? I think you did have 1 marked when that battle started. So I'll take 1 away from you.
Woo!
So we'll say you're at least a little bit less exhausted from that. So, but yeah, so you guys do have access to your natures just in a general sense, not necessarily right now at this moment, so.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that typically you could spend value or, again, do a favor for someone to rest somewhere comfortable, and that will also clear exhaustion. So that's a thing too. But Miffy, I assume that's what you're trying to do now. Are you trying to spend money to get a little bit of exhaustion back? Or are you or is that more fluff while your allies do their things?
Well, I do want to get supplies, so we're not at so much depletion. I was injured. I don't know if maybe that's part of depletion too, where you get medical supplies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I would want to get that since I was doing a lot of stuff. But besides shopping, I do also wanted to continue to talk to our kitty friend here.
Mm-hmm. So, taking a quick read of the different supplies, right? Or sorry, the different harm tracks. Generally speaking, it's a little bit. The more of it you have, the longer it takes to heal. In terms of just spending money, right? So if you have 1 injury, like such as Miffy, taking taking about a value of supplies and be like, "Hey Doc, I got into a knife accident while helping
I
someone
fell
with
on
a
a
knife."
knife.
And just kind of glaze over. Says it takes about an hour and 1 value to get an injury tended to, if that's what you want to do, Miffy. But like for exhaustion, that's something where you're going to need to spend more time. Like you can't spend a bit of money and heal 1
Sure,
because you have
okay.
more, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But I can do that for injury, so
Yeah.
I think I will do that for injury.
So-
Take an hour, get healed.
Yeah, so Miffy's going to be taking an hour getting healed, spinning some lies to some doctors about why it is you have a slash, like a cut across your body.
Yeah.
And just questions like, how did the blood splatter get up to this side of your coat, Oh wait, no. You had the red side out for
Yeah,
exactly
I know.
this
Yeah,
reason.
whenever. Right now I'm in white, but underneath is just blood red.
Right. Yeah. All right. So while Miffy's doing that, I think in this case for depletion, let me see, clear. Yeah. So for this case for depletions, a decent wage, rummaging through a workshop, couple days spent foraging. I think for depletion, we'll go with 1-to-1 for value to depletion restored. So if you guys want anyone who has value to spend, who wants to heal depletion, for this town at this moment, we're going to do it 1-to-1. So feel free to make that change yourself.
I'll free up my depletion, go to 3 value.
All right, sounds good.
I'm like really
I'm
depleted.
Yeah, everyone's really depleted because most of your stuff was taken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if we spend 1 value, we gain 1 depletion free.
Back. Yeah, so like you uncheck the box,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a few can luxury afford.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I have used one of my 2 for. Wait, was it depletion? Yeah, it was
For
depletion.
that one. Yep.
Can I use my remaining value to look at clothes? Because
You want
yeah.
something fancy?
I want something dry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Surely you've dried a little bit in the sun.
I do think being out in the sun, especially with all the forges heating up, like you're gonna dry out on your own. But if you want to pick up something new for yourself, then certainly you can pick up something. If you don't want any particular, stats or things on it, then I think 1 value is more than fair for like a nice new outfit, right?
Yes, I want it to look nice. I
Right.
want it to be like decent, fancy if it's affordable.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it probably falls short of like, it falls short of nobility, but it is on like the nicer end of what people would have access to for 1. I'm looking at the
Sweet.
tags right now. There actually is a specific luxury tag to indicate this is for fancy people, and
Oh
it
my
makes
God.
it 3 value more expensive. So,
Wow.
so that's specifically if you want it to be fancy, it's 3 extra, or like really fancy. But I think
Oh my
1
gosh.
is certainly nice, right? Because you're
I
basically
can
Amber?
deal with nice.
yeah.
Ember,
You can't deceive your enemies if you ain't cute.
Ember, treat yourself.
Yes.
That's me. Give me the Gucci fit.
All right. So has everyone spent what they want?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you reconvene. Before we depart, Champenois will, lean in close to 3 of you and say, while you all were resupplying, I took a quick peek at where I stayed before they retook the clearing. I had a couple emergency caches just in case. Unfortunately, I wasn't even able to make use of them, and they've found many, but one went unnoticed. And he takes out this wooden shield, and as he like shows it off to you, he like shows the back, and there's like a lever you can pull to like pop it from like a buckler size to like kite shield size, right? So like it is relatively light and it embiggens on demand.
I thought you were gonna say like you pull a lever and like a cartoonish boxing glove punches your enemies.
I thought it was going to be like Rygar, where you can like spin it around your head like a whip.
Oh my goodness.
It says, unfortunately, I was only able to find the one. I wish I had more to give. And I wish it was
One is
under
better than
slightly better
none.
circumstances. But yeah, so basically what this is a shield, one load. It has 2 boxes of wear, which basically when you take damage,
Russian gloves.
right? When you take damage instead of taking injury, or if it's like, you know, from a baton instead of taking exhaustion, you can mark wear on the shield instead. Similar to your other things, if the wear gets full, then it's damaged, but it's like, you know, you can repair it. But if the wear gets full and then you take another wear, then it's destroyed. It's not coming back anymore, right?
Gotcha.
This particular clockwork shield has 2 traits on it, one of which is thick, so that no matter the damage that it's blocking, it only ever marks 1 wear. So basically you can use it to block 2 hits, right? No matter how heavy those hits are. And the other thing is it is tightly woven. The clockwork in it allows you to take a bit, and at the end of a fight, you pull a few levers, and it goes through a fancy little hardening process where some gears do the thing, and it will let you clear 1 wear after a fight. So it's self-healing, but you can only really block twice with it, right? But, you know. Oh my god. So much so much in chat right now.
Miffy, would you use it if you had it?
The GM is distracted. Post in chat.
All right. Well, who wants the shield? Yes, is the question.
Ember, what do you think?
I think it's really cool. I think that I would love to have it, but I also notice Miffy gets hit more often.
But it is a shield if you don't want to get hit, which could be appropriate for you.
I would appreciate that. Yes, please.
Yeah, you can have it.
Defense does not seem a lot like Miffy's style, so I wasn't sure if they wanted it.
I mean, like I could definitely see myself having it, but also I can see it for Ember as well.
The best defense is killing first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's arguments to be made for most people here, I think, for why you can have it, or who should have it, so.
I'm gonna be like a glass cannon here.
Splintering glass cannon.
Oh.
So with all of this, stuff grabbed, all the supplies stocked up, I believe it's time to leave Ironroot and head on our journey. So, I mentioned before the choices you have of traveling through the forest or along the path. So you guys have 2 moves. If you scroll down on your character sheet to under travel moves, you can see specifically what the options here are, right? So traveling along the path, you get to choose your pace. The slower you travel, the more of a chance you run into something, potentially something dangerous, before getting into the next clearing. Also, when it's slower, you clear some exhaustion. You also collectively mark depletion, right? And that's the price you pay for going slow. There's a bunch of different degrees there's 4 different degrees of speed you can move. Or going through the forest, where you have the option to go slow to clear depletion instead. You mark exhaustion for going through the forest. And the quicker you go, the safer it is, right? So, up to you guys which one you want to do. I'll give you a moment to read through them.
So I have a skill with my tambourine where when I use it, I think it's under tools of the trade.
Let's take a look.
Or it's also under tambourine, but it has the tag, I think, pleasant, which when you perform with your band while traveling on a path, I can mark where to clear up 2 additional exhaustion from each vagabond.
Okay.
So I think I can use that with the travel along the path or travel through the forest.
Yeah,
in a way.
So I think you do get that, but only for the travel along the path one, not for the forest one. But
So
yes.
we can do along the path, like safely, quickly, and under the radar. Which I guess, I don't know if it makes sense to do that with quickly, safely, and under the radar to do that, but we can do that. Mark 1 depletion, get 1 to rolls, and we can like clear a couple exhaustion for Miffy. Like, how are we feeling about that?
I would appreciate having less problems.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. All right. Well, in that case, since let's see, what do we roll on this one? It is just doesn't look like it rolls the particular skill, does it?
It's just prompt, yeah.
Just
But it would
prompt.
give us +1 when we do it.
Yep. All right. Well, since you're the one giving the group the +1, why don't you make the roll, Milo?
So it's safely, so it'd be +1.
Mm-hmm.
New window popped up and I got scared. Hey!
All
There we go.
right. So
Woo!
let's apply all these effects before we get to the
Heck
full
yeah.
success part,
So it's
right?
1 less
So
for
safely
me.
and
Yep.
safely and quickly, everyone reduce your or mark 1 depletion, right? So tick off an extra depletion box. Once you've done that, once you've done that, thanks to Milo playing while we're on the path, if you have exhaustion, you can unmark 2 of them.
Okay.
And once everyone's
yeah.
done that,
I'm definitely singing a copyright-free version and legally distinct version of "Moving Right Along" from the Muppets movie.
I love that.
The Einstein is here we come, we're gonna nab it. I can't think of anything else. Sorry.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I was giving you the space if you wanted it, but you don't need to fill
I
it.
appreciate it.
So between Milo's songs over the course of a couple days as you travel through the paths, you are able to breathe of freedom again. The tall trees around you, the redwoods stretching up to the sky above, towering over you all. It is a relatively peaceful journey between these 2 separate clearings, where perhaps because it was more costly a victory to the Eyrie than they would have liked, they're a bit close to the town licking their wounds, and the Marquisiate was fully retreated for similar reasons, right? And has yet to fully re-extend their tendrils this way.
Did we say goodbye already to Champenois?
No, he was coming with you to put in a good word.
Oh, okay, because I wasn't sure because he had several days and he said he would be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he mused to you guys, like when I think Milo said it's like, well, Miffy said you could, you could say you were threatened, and he was like, yeah, I probably could get away with a few days,
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, as you all are traveling, I think your traveling companion will take a little bit to out of, shall we say, the curiosity of the cat, right? Ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, was there a particular reason you all got caught up in Ironroot over there? It doesn't sound to me like you were actually working for the Marquisiate. I certainly assume that if you were, you would have told me by now.
Just wrong place, wrong time. Seem to be caught up in that a lot.
Yeah, I don't think many people were actually working for the Marquisiate. I'm not really sure what was up with that.
There were a lot of people down there, and I'm pretty sure none of them did much.
Suspicious.
In terms of being Marquisiate agents, I think you were right. I don't think any of them were down there. In terms of taking the Marquisiate's money, he sort of like shrugs. It does seem like the Eyrie is treating that as a bit of a crime. Perhaps they don't expect to hold the clearing for long, and they would wish to instill a bit more resistance in its populace the next time the Marquisiate takes control.
So, what about you? Did you get caught up also? It sounds like they were a little more clever with you. They kidnapped your dad?
No.
Hey, Dad napped your kid?
It was more that my father put himself in a bad situation. We knew the area was nearby. There had been skirmishes. They were getting closer to town. No one thought it was going to fall. No one thought they would be crazy enough to charge our defenses, and we had quite a few. But they were. They paid the price for it. And my father was... like, Champenois like pinches his nose. It was just like, my father was out on a nature walk alone, and he had not told me where, just left me a note saying he felt like he wanted to go see the sky through the canopy. And so I had to go try to find him during all of this violence. And for a mercy, the Eyrie did not mistake a wandering old man for a soldier or a scout.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Yeah. He's like, they... Captured probably is not quite the right word. They moved him behind their lines, and unfortunately, given what I was wearing at the time, all it took was one look for them to realize I was an engineer. They were able to put two and two together, especially because my father is rather talkative. He does not... He's getting on in his years, and he doesn't fully follow the conflicts in the region.
Yeah.
And that's what
That's
happened.
okay.
I ended
Well,
up being captured there as well. I do not know. I would assume that they think I'm dead, if they even care about me at all. I mean, I know my stuff at the Marquisiate, but I'm not a person of particular import or anything. Not to say that engineers aren't valuable. We certainly are, but... What I'm trying to say is don't expect a royal's welcome when we get there and I say you help me. That's all.
I mean, if you have to go back, you could use that maybe. I mean, they want some information on the birds, don't they?
Yes, they do. And I'm sure I will give them a full debrief, but I don't know how much support they will be able to give me.
Fair.
You didn't see Ironroot during the battle. It was... Marquisiate is not in position to storm a town to save a confused old man.
Oof.
Well, I can't really say for sure they're gonna help you, and it sounds like they probably won't. But I will say that we did a pretty bang-up job down there messing things up. You might want to take advantage of that at the very least.
It is true, and I can at least be glad to report to them that there is no salvageable clockwork for me to work on for them. So, there is that.
So you said that you did meet with your father before they separated you, right?
Yes, I did. Actually, I think I last saw him maybe a day or so before they brought you down. So it's been a little over a week now.
I don't have as much pull as I used to, but maybe there's someone around I can get information where your dad might be. No promises, though.
Oh, well. I don't know if you'll find anyone who has that knowledge where we're going. But if you run into Ironroot and I'm still there, I don't know if you'll be able to find my face, but it would be nice to see a friendly one.
Does like the scariest smile.
I can see why your tenure with your employer has, or not your tenure, your separation with your employer has not been an agreeable one.
Yeah, because they're assholes.
Damn.
Yes, certainly so. And unlike most, you have the tenacity to not let them forget it, rather than trying to disappear and protect yourself. I don't know if I would be so brave as to confront someone with a group with as much wealth as the company. No matter
And what you did. Yeah, I saw you jumping in that machine you made. Don't let my taking you as hostage let you forget that you fully participated. You got a lot more spunk in you than you think, Felix.
Felix?
I know that's not your name, by the way. I'm just saying that.
He smiles and he gives you a smile. He's like, I don't know what you were talking about. I was but a helpless engineer, first at the hands of the eerie guards and then at the hands of my fellow prisoners. I certainly had no say in anything that was happening down below. And with that smile, it's very clear that he's having fun with you, right? But,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, there you go.
But like it does sort of bring to mind what he just said, right? It's like you're talking about, or he did praise you for having the tenacity to fight back so boldly, but the way he replies and like handles things, he seems to always be looking for that plausible deniability for himself, right?
Yeah, so he's like the Ember of the group.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true.
You're
And
a real Ember.
You're a real
I took
Ember.
a quiz and it says that I'm Ember from Friends.
Ember from Friends. Friends?
Yeah. You know, the hit TV show.
To be fair, it worked. Every time.
Every single time.
Oh, that reminds me. Do we need to change our reputation spaces?
Yes, I was going to get to that at the end, but since you asked about it, we can do that now as we're walking and talking. Because I think, given that we only have around 20 minutes left in the session, probably makes more sense not to enter town this session.
Probably
so
not.
we'll do some, we'll relax, we'll roleplay. But if we wanted to talk reputations, I think it's pretty. Let me look at the reputation to see if they give me a scale for like how many times to mark notoriety.
If you drown this many, mark this many.
Yeah. Well, some of them do have like. So reputation has. This is what a total of +0 or +1 means, right? It doesn't have a mark 1 box to do this. Let me look at reputation moves, see if there's anyone there. We got favors, meeting someone, drawing attention, sway, making threats. Alright. Yeah, no, so none of the moves actually give or take away. We just mark it as appropriate. So I'm thinking that let's look at your sheets. Miffy, where's your starting reputations?
I don't know. I thought I had some in there already.
I thought you had some too. Put them back.
You must have.
Well, like, do I have just like negative with the -1 with the river folk or what?
You have -1 with. So start with -1 on one faction and then +2 to another.
Oh, okay. Then
wait, is
I
it
guess
+2 or +1? Yeah, +2 to
Plus
another.
two. Plus
+2 to
two.
another.
-1 for who hates you.
Yeah, and then let me take another look at your special exile stuff while you do that.
Okay. Well, I already did it.
Okay, well, that was fast. So you're going to need to give me a minute.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not going to take...
But,
Alright, so let's see. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't see any extra marking.
58. 59.
That's not how that works. Yeah, I don't see any extra any extra notoriety for yours. So you have the -1 and then the +2. So I think in this case, for both Miffy and Milo, you're both gonna mark a negative with the Riverfolk Company, because of, well, you know, everything that happened. I think
that's just to the box, not to like the actual score,
yes,
right?
yes, just the box. So once you filled up those 3 boxes, I'll have to double check if it's you fill up 3 and then do another one, or if it's just fill up 3. That's when you move over and then you clear the boxes. All right, and I think everyone's going to get a +1 with the Marquisiate once Champenois has, relayed the story of what's happened. Mainly because, like he said, you did help him out. And you helped, even though you used it partially to escape and it benefited you, you did help in destroying all of the clockwork, or the one clockwork that they, that they had captured that was, capable of being repaired, right? All the other clockwork is in such disrepair, it would take a long time to get that fixed again. So, you've helped out in that way. So we'll mark one positive one there. Let's see, do I want to do anything with the Eerie? Because technically you were in an Eerie prison, even if you were interacting a little bit more with the company. I think... I think that, technically speaking, the Eerie isn't happy with you guys either, but... And now here's my justification for this thing. They don't fully know who you guys are. Like, if you remember the previous session, Brightwing had presented you all with some recent criminal cases that vaguely resembled you guys, right? So it's like, they don't actually even know that you committed these crimes. They don't have that good of a profile on who you are, right? So I think that for the most part, they probably don't... You don't get any extra enmity that you already didn't have. With, I think, the exception of maybe Milo, because I think that the former Lord of Ironroot is going to complain so much that the Eerie is going to at least know a little bit more about you.
He said he would get me to the top, and he did. But I'm out one perfectly good assistant.
Yep.
All right, so I'm marking 1.
Yeah, I think you're marking one because of the continue. So like, and again, so it's like the Eerie is angry at a mouse and a fox, but they don't know enough about you to assign notoriety, I think, from your interactions here. But Milo being talked about enough is what gives the extra.
So the only bug in the entire forest who can talk. They think it was me. Come on, guys, come on.
There could be a second bug who can sing and has a tambourine. That's all I'm saying.
It's like how Ember has a bunch of cousins who do other hood rat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, But such is the price of fame. Cannot be everyone's favorite.
Like a bad boy, like that Hank Williams Jr.
And actually, while we're marking things, why don't we look at your drives, everyone? So drives are the things that give you the equivalent of an XP, right? Of an experience point. So let's look. So look at each of your drives, and if you think that you succeeded on that drive, let me know, and we can.
I think escaping from certain death or being jailed, I think that counts as thrills, right?
I think that does count as thrills. So you will gain an advancement. I don't know. Doesn't look like there's a place to mark that on here.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
let me take a look and see if there's a space in background. Nope. Moves. Nope. All right. So on the character sheets, I'll make a separate note off on the side, and I'll put it in our group chat after.
Is it not forward?
No, that's a separate thing. So Milo's got an advancement. What about Miffy or Ember?
I mean, I have chaos, and I certainly feel like I achieved that.
Advance when you topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure or order.
I mean, the prison, I would say, is some kind of order that I have toppled completely. At least in them.
I think you
Like, I didn't free everybody, but I did literally crash there.
I think what you did was, in fact, in the spirit of chaos, especially when you think that Miffy was also the one who flooded the entire section of the prison, right? So, like, it wasn't only flooding the entire section of the prison. It was then picking a fight with both captains and then turning on your ostensible ally, right? So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
So I think that's reasonable.
I also have chaos, but I don't think I did that much. I caused a lot of confusion for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was looking at it and I was thinking the same thing. It's like Miffy definitely caused chaos. Did Ember cause chaos?
Not really, but I also have Wanderlust, so the next time we get to a clearing, I will advance.
Right, which I think will end on your characters, like, about to arrive. So I think for practical purposes, we will give you that now, so that way you can spend your advancements between, and the actual technical speaking, it will happen immediately at the start of the next one, right? Is when that will pop up. All right, so everyone will have their one advancement to spend. I believe the short version is that your playbook has a bunch of boxes you can tick off, right? You have some extra moves that you can grab. You can grab more roguish feats or weapon skills. You can increase some of your stats or your different meters, like your injury or your exhaustion track. Like, there's a bunch of different things that you can do. So you'll have time to peruse them. You'll have time to peruse them at your leisure.
I think I've got one already, so.
Oh, wow.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss while on the road? You guys celebrate being freed in any meaningful way? Like, what's your reaction, especially like once you're a day out from Ironroot, right? Like, and it's clear that you no longer need to run. There's not going to be guards chasing you or anything. It's like what's the demeanor of everyone as they relax? I mean, certainly Milo's playing music, but is there anything else that you guys want to? Any other fluff you want to sprinkle across the top here?
Miffy, next time we need an escape plan, please don't flood. Please don't flood an underground place. Like, it worked. Don't get me wrong, but...
I want to remind everybody that this was a shared plan. No one said no to this.
No,
it was all consensual.
I understand, and I'm saying not again.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. We won't flood a place again. Wink.
I'm winking.
I'm just looking at the map and all the water it has on it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this.
Oh, do I do it like this? Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, there's two of them. All right, we're good. Yeah, so I got my advancement.
All right.
I don't know if there's anything in particular. I probably would be complaining all the time. He said, or would be saying like, that Noemi, she thinks she knows everything, and yeah, she got a hit on Arrow, but you know what? I'll bet dollars to donuts that they're still alive out there somewhere. And we like cut back to Arrow's floating corpse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely out there somewhere.
I was thinking like they're gonna be like cyberized. They like some mad inventor comes and puts clockwork, like cyborg parts in them,
Oh my god.
and like they get powered up, and there's like a little like mission statement: dispose of Ember and Miffy and Milo.
I tried to help them. It's not my fault they missed.
That's what happens when you go against an order.
But not me. I got a hit on them. I just want to point that out.
I'm just built different, I guess.
No, but
Now they're built really different.
I for one will not forget the sight of a lone mouse with a sword standing against a bunch of birds. Though I will say, judging by how you left that encounter, you are still a bit lucky they didn't all descend on you as a flock.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I would have gone down fighting.
I have no doubt that you would
It's like
have.
those canaries. Looks like those canaries avoided becoming some pros, because then it would have been a murder.
Ah, I get it. Milo slaps you across the back. That's 20.
Can you roll for that? See if you hurt me.
Oh my god.
No,
Roll
it,
night.
What?
It's so hard to heal. Or no, it's not that hard. But it's if you want to roll, if you want to do, if you both want
I mean,
to.
not to hurt
No,
you, but
it's
if
fine. It's fine. Just playing.
yeah.
All right. I think one more question then from Champenois before we end out. So, if you will indulge me, and I understand if you don't want to, since I am planning on going back to Ironroot, but where is it that you all are heading next? And I don't mean Dion's Den. I know that's just the quickest way to get away from Ironroot, but it sounds like, from what you were saying earlier, you gestures to Milo, that you spend a lot of time moving from place to place, but why, I suppose, is my question. What could drive you to wander in a place where you don't know if you're going to arrive in the middle of a battlefield or get caught up in
Well,
an
that's
eerie
the thing.
inquisition?
Every time you come back to where you were, something's always new. I want to catch that feeling. I want to follow it. But nice talking to you, Campaign. You just keep that song in your heart, you hear?
There's a little bit of a sigh at the name mispronunciation, but he doesn't bother to correct it because you know what? It's like it could have gone better for him, but it could have also gone a lot worse. So he's got.
See you later, sparkling wine.
Oh no.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to add?
There's just so much to see out there. I can't imagine staying in one spot forever.
Yeah, and think about all those company company animals just running around. They're everywhere. Gotta fix that.
Yes, I can't say that I'm too surprised that you in particular bear a grudge. Though hearing you say it out loud so explicitly, I am a bit surprised at how light the casualties were. Not that I want to have seen more. You understand, but
You mean from me?
did you not just say in a rather roundabout way that you want to... No, not even roundabout. In a rather direct way that you want to kill company employees?
I don't know. I don't think I said anything about kill. I'm just saying they shouldn't be around.
It just so happens I had this talk boy with me. Let's just hear what it says. Don't kill all the company animals. Don't kill all the company animals. Company animals. Kill. Kill.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I just had this on me at the time.
I'm just saying, that they could. I'm just looking for a little payback.
Hey! And
Nice.
hard cut to credits.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's legally allowed to say another line after that, actually. That has to be where it ends.
Created by Dick Wolf.
All right. I think that's it for tonight. Thanks for playing.
Finally out of the mine!
Yeah, we're finally out of the mine, and we're on to somewhere new, which will definitely not have its... No, it definitely will have its own problems. And from there, who knows? And so something important, just to, like, point out to you guys as, like, while we're traveling, in case it wasn't, like, entirely clear by the fact that you have forest and path options, most people do only travel through the paths, but because you guys are vagabonds, you are more than capable of saying if you wanted to go from Dion's Den to Grand Hollow next, you certainly can. You just have to do that one roll, right? Or if you wanted to go from here all the way up to Hopper's Crossing, you know, like, you can cross through the woods. It's just, you know, remember, keep in mind that the woods are dangerous. And so, while I don't expect you guys to immediately have a long-term goal, just keep that in the back of your heads as we now enter, you know, the classical route loops. You know, what this game's core is really about: arriving to the town, seeing what's going on, getting involved, and then heading somewhere else. So
My job here is done.
yes,
Just made things
hopefully.
worse. Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
And so hopefully we will we'll do we'll do something, maybe leave it a little better, maybe leave Dion's Den a little bit better, but maybe not. Who knows? Maybe we will leave it a little worse. But either way, people will have opinions about what you did. That's for sure. So, you know.
Can't wait till we come to the town and there's finally a Miffy fan club waiting for her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe once you guys, you know, some of you are starting to get close to getting a +1 with a specific faction.
Yeah, I'm like the Xenos of the campaign.
It took me. It was only a millisecond, but I was like, "Who the fuck are they talking about?" That was Final Fantasy, of course.
Exactly.
The Xenomorph? Why would people like the Xenomorph?
I mean, lots of people want to fuck the Xenomorph. Is
All right,
Well,
putting us
on
on
that-
closing. No, I'm
is
kidding.
Silver here?
I don't know if Silver's still here.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Silver the Hedgehog, so
No.
that's not the only. That's Gato who likes Latinas. Never
That's a
mind.
different game.
So many fun games here on Mordio and Nova.
Yeah.
All right, you want to close it out with what we're doing this week and what everybody else wants to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll do that. So, here at the library this week, we just have one more thing scheduled for tomorrow, Friday, where Nova is going to be playing A Date with Death. I believe that's the title.
That's right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna date the Grim Reaper.
Yep. You're already getting started on the flattering the Grim Reaper with your with Miffy's behavior, right? You're trying to be like, hey,
Miffy,
look at all the
Dano,
people I've
what's the
killed, right?
difference?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. Hambo, do you have anything going on later this week?
Yesterday I finally finished out the Skeleton.
Woo!
In November, where we, me and some guests, Hellhounds 20 and Jasper Fascia, we did the Skeleton Encore, which was the skin encore, where we put skin upon skeletons, and it went really well.
Oh, how
But sadly,
horrifying.
Skeleton has ended, so now we will be moving back to other activities such as art, possibly non-skeleton art, and possibly non-skeleton games. So if you'd like to know when I go live, you can follow me on here, on Blue Sky, and on Tumblr at Radio Bone Air.
Yes, please do. And Amasha, anything for you coming up?
Not immediately. I'm doing some dredging stuff. Dredge is a really fun game so far, and I've also got my VODs up on my YouTube, which is Imasha26, as is my Twitch. So please check me out, one place or another, maybe even both.
Hey.
Please do. And that's it here for us at the Liminal Branch Library. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank the three of you for playing. And
Thank
hope to
Mordio
see
for
you all
DMing.
back. Oh, thank you. And I
All
hope
right,
to see
get
you
out.
all back here again soon. Yep, get out, everyone. That's it.
Get out!
Get out.
Get out! We're locking you in!
Get out of the mines. They're flooding.
Oh, gosh.